Good evening, everyone. I'm going to start my sharing now. So before we start, just a quick introduction. This presentation was prepared for information purpose. Okay, what I'm going to share later is my own take on the strategy that I myself use. In no way that this represents the stand of ERA, and we try to the information I try to share is try to keep up to date, and I hope it can help you along the way. So let's start. Okay, now, what is the hot news in the market today? I think one of the key things that everyone is facing now, we are still in the midst of this coronavirus and this COVID-19. Although we are in phase 2, we go out, we still have the mask, wear mask today. Now, this coronavirus, this pandemic, what he have done is that it have weakened, okay, and deepened Singapore recession. Okay, so there's a lot of uncertainty in front. Now, this makes a lot of people very confused. On one hand, we are seeing that Singapore economy is going into one of the worst recession. But on the other hand, since last month, we already see HDB resale volume shooting up in July, okay, in 2 years high. And price seems to be inching upwards also. And condo resale also rebound in July. And new private home sales is up for the 3rd month in a row. Now, when you look at this figure, 1,080 in July, this is quite a substantial number that we are looking at. Why? Because this year, government land sales, total land sales on confirmed site is less than 3,000. So new land sales is not going to be more than 3,000 this year. But 3 months in a row, we have an average of 1,000 units per month. So the inventory seems to be clearing. Seems to be, we have more people buying than the upcoming supply that we have. So these are some of the top selling projects in July. And you see the top projects are selling 70, 80, 100 units, just like that. So this sends us very confusing signal. So should we enter or not to enter the market? Warren Buffett once says, be greedy when others are, be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. So Warren Buffett is a very, very well-known investor. He's one of my idol, or what you call 偶像 in Chinese. Okay, so what he says, yes, be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. But what is the strategy we can adopt, okay, to enter the market? What should we watch out for? So tonight I'm going to share 5 strategies, and I hope these 5 strategies can help you, in your investment. Now, the past is where you learn the lesson. The future is where you apply the lesson. So before we move, one of the key things we want to visit is the past history of Singapore property cycle. Let's understand the past first before we actually move in. So strategy 1, study the past to understand the present. So now let's look at this chart. This chart actually is a extract from a HDB website, and you can see the resale price index of HDB flats. Okay, you can see that it actually peaked in 2013, going up all the way, from the past, and it peaked at 2013, and after that it start coming down. Now, what about the resale private property? It seems to also peak at 2013. The run-up start from 2009. The run-up start from 4th quarter, 3rd quarter, 2009, and it runs up and peak at 2013. After that, it actually came down and rebound again on 2017. Now, if you put the 2 charts together, okay, the HDB resale price index and the URA private property resale price index, you realize that in the past, when HDB go up, private property go up. When it come down, both will come down together. However, in 2017, it start to go different direction, where HDB continue to be weak, resale condo start to rebound. Now, why is that so? And one of the possible explanation is this. Okay, in the year 2017, March 24th, okay, our then National Development Minister, Mr. Lawrence Wong, reminded Singaporeans that less than 4% of HDBs are eligible for Selective en bloc Redevelopment Scheme, in short SERS, since 1995. Now, this sent a bomb to the market. Now, my parents' generation, okay, those who bought HDB flats in the 80s, when the flat is 10 years old, in the 90s, it moved up, the price increased from 50, 60,000 to 100 over 1,000. And when the HDB flat become 20 years old in the early 2000, okay, the price moved up to 200 over 1,000. When the HDB flat become 30 years old in the early 2010, okay, what happens? The HDB price shoot to above 400,000 for a HDB 4-room flat in Jurong area. Now, in the last couple of years, since 2013, the price have been falling. And one of the key things that have changed is the notion. It's notion that when HDB flat become old, what happens? In the past, we believe HDB, even you get older, the price will keep increasing. Then we receive a wake-up call. The HDB price will not forever keep increasing. Okay, so what happened then? This is an illustration when the article was come out at the same time. This is illustration that a HDB 5-room flat bought for 860K in 2017, there's a possibility, okay? One of the possibility is that at 99 years old, when the lease run out, if there's no SERS en bloc being in place, and there's no other things in place, when the HDB flat become 99 years old, the flat will have to be returned to HDB at zero value. So suddenly, the older HDB flat price don't seem to appreciate as much. And in fact, it seems to be falling slowly in most HDB estate, though not all. Okay, one of the key differences between HDB and condo. For HDB, the land belongs to the government, and HDB decide on when they want to selective en bloc. You cannot choose the timing. You only can pray hard, they select your block. Okay, then to the government, this HDB is for Singaporeans. So for future generation of Singaporeans, as long as they graduate from the university, they graduate with a tertiary education, public housing must be within their reach. Okay, so HDB have to keep the land, have to take back the land, and not let you pass down one generation to another generation, so that all future generation, they can have the land to build affordable housing for all future generation of Singaporeans. Whereas for condo is different. Although the land still belongs to government, especially those 99-year lease, okay, but the condo owners can band together, okay, they can form a sales committee and decide that everyone want to sell the land en bloc to a developer. So this kind of situation, the condo owners can band together to decide when they want to sell the land and not wait for somebody to decide their fate. And in that kind of situation, we can say that private property can be passed down to our next generation, because when you pass down, the government don't care. As long as the lease is going on, when you sell, okay, when the price is not good, the price is not appreciating, the land price is valuable, the condo owner can decide to sell and pass the proceed to the next generation. But HDB flat, you can't decide the timing. You have to, if no SERS is being selected, you may wait until the lease run out and zero value, nothing to pass to your next generation. So whereas the HDB market have been fairly quiet and actually dropped quite a fair bit in the last 7 years. Okay, only these 2 years start to stabilize. Okay, resale condo also go down from 2013 and bottom up at 2017 and start to rebound. The price index overall in the resale market is still slightly below the 2013 level. However, for the new launch private condo sales in the last few years, 92.5%, okay, actually make a profit. So these are some of the examples of the projects that make profit between 2014 to 2018. So they make pretty decent gain. So in general, what I have shared, I think many people are aware. But before we make any informed decision to enter the market, let's dive deeper. Let's look further in to understand the market. Now, during the run-up from 2009 to 2013, okay, household income increase slower than the price increase. Okay, price index grow at 31.6%. Transaction volume increased by 66.5%. However, household income only increased by 24%. So it seems that the price increase outrun the economic fundamental. So prudent cooling measures was tried to put in place between 2009, but it was not enough. So HDB decided to ramp up the BTO supply in 2011. Okay, so more supply, and for first timer they give priority, okay, to first timer from 2013. Now a lot of stringent measure, cooling measure, okay, was put between 2013 to 2019 also. TDSR was put in place, MSR was put in place, additional buyer stamp duty was put in place, and the loan to value have dropped from 209. At 209, you can still borrow 90%. After that, 2010, you can only borrow 80%. And the last couple of years, what happened? You can borrow only up to 75%. So the government had done a fantastic job in keeping the price very stable in the last couple of years. Okay, so the additional cooling measures to ensure a substantial property market was put in place. Okay, so anti-speculation, seller stamp duty, and it prevents and foreign investment with the introduction of ABSD even for second property for locals. So this is what the minister states. Property prices would have increased up to 15% in 2018 without cooling measures. So the price would have increased up to 15% in 2018 without cooling measure. So cooling measure have actually suppressed the property price growth during the last 7-8 years during the last run-up. Okay, so what happens since 2013 up to now? Now, when price have not gone up much, but your pay is still increased every year. There's no pay freeze for most companies between year 2013 to 2020. So if the housing price did not go up much, but the household income have been going up year after year after year, what does it translate to? You realize that the household income have outpaced the property home price growth. So you realize that the so-called private home price growth compared to the net worth growth, okay, is falling behind, lag behind. So if you have entered the market between 2011 to 2013, there's a lot of transaction volume searching, a lot of people buying, okay, And after 1-3, your price start to come down. Probably you did not do anything much, okay? Because after you buy, the price come down and you are still under the seller's stamp duty period. So what you do is that you do nothing, okay? You hang on to your property, you have the holding power, you hang it on, then you realize that your resale condo price was stagnant, okay, for the last 7 years. It went down and it bounced back, but it's almost only close to your 2017 price. In the last 7 years, you did not make much profit if you buy a resale condo near the peak of 2013, and you do nothing, okay? But in the last 7 years, your household income have increased. Every year you have a 3% increment, 3% increment for your pay, and you can see that your household income is increasing. Not only your household income is increasing, because you did not commit in big ticket item. So there's on the average across Singapore, okay, most household, okay, have more savings in 2019 as compared to 2013. Cash deposit increased by 72%. And the CPF balance also increases because last 7 years, okay, those who participated between 2010 to 2013, the run-up, if you had entered the market during that time, you probably, okay, been very quiet the last 7 years. So the last 7, who is actually buying? So you have en bloc owners, those en bloc in 2017, 2018 buying, they need to sell, they need to buy. There's also the first timers that's buying. There's also people who miss going in during the last run-up. So between 2009 to 2013, they never enter the market. These are the people who are buying the last couple of years. But there's a fair amount of people who actually enter the market during the last cycle, okay, sitting out in the market, not doing anything, just watch their household income grow faster than property prices. They see the household savings, household CPF savings, cash savings, CPF, all going up. That means there's liquidity in the market. It is when are they going to go into the market? Now, this probably explains that why there's so many people still buying in the last couple of months despite a looming recession. So we know that there's a recession. Whether there's anyone having pay cut, no, anyone have job security issue, put it this way: weekend when you go out to the shopping malls, go out to restaurant for dinner with family, do you see long queue outside this restaurant? Now, does the economic impact the common Singaporean? The answer is yes. It's obvious yes. Okay, probably, okay, especially those in the travel industry, they are hard hit. Okay, probably 20 to 30% of the people have job security issue. They are under threat. So, but majority of Singaporeans, 60-70% of Singaporeans might not be affected, and their job security is not threatened. These are the people, part of the people who are sitting on more savings and yet doing nothing. And there's always a saying during crisis, okay, or the rich always get richer, okay, and the poor don't seem to be able to break through the cycle. Now, one of the common understanding we have is that people who are rich have the bullet to go in during a crisis. People during a crisis who have the ability to enter the market usually will make money after the crisis. Okay, then this is the reason why a lot of rich people hang on to the cash just waiting for the chance to go in. And when the COVID hits, when the developer dare not increase price and give up some goodies, okay, to attract buyer to buy during the COVID period, the circuit breaker period, we are seeing that the sales are actually surprisingly doing well. If the market have no liquidity, where does people find the money to buy? So the next thing, after we understand the last 7 years, the housing price have not gone up much, but the household income, household savings have been going up, and explain why during a looming recession, people still have money to go in the market. The next thing we might want to understand, okay, is the market supply. So one of the key strategy is this. When the market supply getting lower and lower, do you think it is a good time to enter market? Or when the market have more and more supply, is it a good time to enter the market? Which is a better time? Okay, let's look at the market supply graph. Okay, land sales have come up sharply after the cooling measure implemented in 6 July 2018. So at 6 July 2018, okay, 1718, that is where there's a lot of en bloc activity going on. So with en bloc activity come land sales. So after the government introduced, even for land sales, developer have to pay ABSD, and some of them is non-refundable. Okay, en bloc activity come to a standstill after July 2018, and in fact, in 2019, 2020, the government also reduced the government land sales. So look at the past, you realize that, oh, here you have a en bloc boom, strong government land sales during this period, during the inventory build up. Okay, so you can see that here there's a strong government land sales and en bloc boom. That's where the supply, a lot of supply come into the market. Okay, so this is 1718. This is, okay, 1112. Now, where are we now? So after the government land sales, after 2018, after the cooling measures, okay, government also reduced the government land sales in 2019. And this year, due to COVID, first half of this year, the government land only with the government land sales confirmed sites, only can build 1,000 over units. And the second half of this year, also on the confirmed list is another 1,000 over units. So the whole of this year, the supply from government land sales is about 3,000 only. And most of us do not hear a lot of about the en bloc. There's no en bloc going on. Not much en bloc going on. Even have is very, very small sites. So since there's not much en bloc, almost no en bloc, and government land sales is only enough to supply 3,000 units for the whole of this year. Meaning to say, the last 3 months, each month sell 1,000 units, already wipe out this year supply. Meaning to say, this year's sales, it will so-called run down the inventory of unsold unit. So this is the, you go to URA government land sales site, you can see that currently for this half of the year, second half of 2020, these are the only sites. Jalan Anak Bukit at Beauty World area is actually open on tender based on first half of this year land sales. It was released, called for tender on the last day of June. Okay, and Taman Merah Kechuling, okay, this is also open for tender. The rest, only 2 more sites, okay, will only be called in October and November. And developers are giving 6 months to put in their bid. Meaning to say, by the time you know whether the developer want to buy a lot of land, right, will be Q2 next year. Okay, so by this year, December, government will decide, no, URA will decide, first half of next year, how much land they want to release. So without knowing, without a clear indication when the COVID will be over, there's also no clear indication how aggressively developers want to replenish their land bank. Unlikely there will be a bumpers land sales in the first half of next year. When the interest is shown by these 2 sides, if let's say there's a lot of developer bidding for land, okay, by the time the government realized that they should release more land, the earliest will likely to be second half of 2021. So is there oversupply in private housing market now? So currently, if you look at this chart, When the supply is peak over here, okay, at 2019 Q1, okay, 2019 Q4 and Q1, that's where you have the most supply. This one is at Q1 2019, okay, this is where you have the most supply. After that, supply seems to be dropping. Now, if you look at the chart, okay, look at the chart. Sorry, let me move too fast. Okay, so if you look at the chart, in the past, whenever the market start to reduce the supply, there's always a peak. The peak was at 2011 Q3. Okay, there was quite a lot of supply over here. Okay, there's a lot of supply over here, and it start falling after 2013. Then you can see there's a steady drop. Okay, and when you drop until 2017 Q2, you see there's only about 17,000 unsold new launches, okay, private new homes in the pipeline. Meaning to say, if you go according to history, okay, you look back to the past, when the unsold inventory fall to around 17,000, okay, developer will try to replenish their land bank aggressively. That's why you see in 1718, that is where the en bloc happens. A lot of en blocs happen in 2017 and 2018. And that was where the resale condo market price start to rebound, whereas HDB continue to go down further, okay, before it stabilized in 2019, 2020 is stabilized. Now, this en bloc sales in 17 and 18 actually push up the resale price because now they know the raw material cost of land is going up higher. So if you learn from history, where are we now? Okay, here Q4 is 30,000. If you measure back, Q1 2014 also around 30,000. How long will the inventory clear out? You realize that from 14 it takes 3 years to run down the inventory because over this period there's still government land sales. Then from here moving forward, what will happen? Okay, if you look at the government land sales, 1415 still have decent land sales, but in Singapore after 18 19 is very little land sales. This year the land sales is miserable. Okay, so with so much lesser supply in 19200, 2019 and 2020 as compared to 2014 and 2018, you look at the land supply. Now, does it mean that with so much lesser land supply compared to this time, will it take a shorter time to reach a critical level that the developer want to replenish the land bank? So it's a much deeper drop compared to the past. Okay, previous cycle, it takes about 3 years to clear. This cycle, how long do it take? Nobody knows, but is there a possibility that in 2 years' time, the inventory will run down? So just now, when you look at the chart, Q4, okay, 2019 is 30,000. Now, if you go to URA website now, okay, go to URA website, look under press release, okay, press release. Check out at end July article, okay, real estate statistics for Q2, okay, 2020. You realize that presently the inventory have dropped to 28,000. So every quarter, the supply is dropping 1,000, okay? And Q2, by the way, is a weak quarter due to COVID. So I think let's wait for Q3 results. Okay, Q3 2020 result. We can likely see that the unsold inventory are clearing pretty fast. So with little land sales coming in this year, and probably, okay, first half of next year, the inventory may run down faster than we think, okay, and they may reach a state much earlier, probably somewhere in 2020, where the developer have to replenish their land bank. Now, if you actually visit a lot of show flats, okay, you realize that those who launched last year is already 60–70% sold. Those many projects launched last year at the present moment is 60–70% sold. So in another year time, there's a good chance it will be 80–90% sold. So the supply in the market is running down. These few months, we see some launches. These launches are actually land sales last year. This year, with so little land sales, next year, unless there's a genuine en bloc activities, a lot of en bloc activity go on, likely next year you will see fewer launches. The supply seems to be diminishing. So let's look at land sales from this one we have actually seen just now. Now, will price continue to rise beyond 2020? Now, land sales will increase when unsold unit become low. So probably, okay, when this happens in 2020 or end 2021, probably end of next year, when the supply is getting lower, normally developer or any businessman, let's say any businessman, when will you raise the price? When you have no stock, or when your stock about getting lesser and lesser? Now, obvious answer is when the stock is getting lesser and lesser and you are confident there's no much competitor coming up next. What will you do? Will you increase the price or lower the price? So when is a good point to enter the market? When it is very little supply? When very little supply, likely the developer already increased the price. Okay, so when the stock is getting lesser and lesser and lesser, and you see that there's not much new supply coming up now, and the developer have not raised the price, would that be a better point for you to consider enter the market? So please consider this point carefully before you enter the market. Now, with inventory expected to decrease steadily, okay, with most developers have till 2022 to 2023 to sell out, the present inventory is clearing at a good rate. Most developer likely, okay, those who launched last year, not this year, those who launched last year, okay, likely to clear their inventory by 2020. Very, very good chance, okay? And most developers are confident of beating the 2020 ABSD deadline that was announced. Now, the next thing is this. We know there's liquidity in the market. We know that the supply is getting lesser. Now, is the demand getting lesser or more? So, the strategy number 3 is to enter when demand is increasing. Okay, enter when supply is decreasing. Okay, enter when the market have not gone up too much in the last couple of years and now is still attractive to go in. So now, if you want to understand the so-called demand side, let's look at some of these articles. More HDB owners are selling newer flats. So this is a clear statistics to show you that in the past couple of years, more and more Singaporean households who bought direct BTO flat from HDBs are selling their BTO flat that is less than 10 years old. Less than 10 years, my parents' generation, they don't sell one. Most people will stay forever because why? 10 years old price increase, 20 years old price increase again, 30 years old price increase. They will forever don't sell their HDB flat. But currently, the newer generations, we are seeing this increased trend, okay? Increased number of flats being sold in the first 10 years, okay? So with a lot of BTO supply, that's why when we visit the market in 2011, 12, 13, 14, Mr. Khaw Boon Wan, then the National Development Minister, okay, ramp up the BTO supply in 2011, 12, 13, 14. Now, those who bought in the earliest ramp up, okay, 2011, for BTO flat, they need to wait 3 years to collect key. So they wait 3 years, collect key. So 2014, they collect key. And they need to wait 5 years for MOP. 5 years MOP will be 2019. So you look at 2019, you have a bumper crop of HDB flat reaching 5 years. So last year, this year, and the next 2 years, we will see a lot of HDB flat reach 5 years MOP. And if the trend, this trend is continue to follow, likely the next few years, we will see more and more MOP owners, okay, the BTO flats owners, after meeting their MOP, starting to sell their HDB flats. And they know, okay, they believe that HDB no longer hold value like our previous generation. Compared to our parents' generation, the same thing is unlikely to happen again. So even though for a small profit of 50K, okay, people want to sell their HDB flat. Okay, so as long as they don't make a loss, they make some money, even for as low as 50K, they like to cash out, okay, and use the cash proceed, okay, to actually do upgrading, and some, where possible, prefer to move on to private property rather than still hanging on to their HDB flat and let them slowly turn older. So upgrade to private property for better growth potential. So that was what the market tell us during 2017 to 2020. So you can realize in the last couple of years, private property go up. Okay, here is in line with what we mentioned just now, en bloc sales. Okay, HDB do not enjoy en bloc sales, so the price is flat. Okay, went down very little. So if you compare last year, HDB flat only went up 0.4%, whereas the private property prices move up 3.4%. So other than HDB upgraders, okay, who believe in the long run, HDB cannot hold much value, especially the younger generation with better income as compared to our parents' generation, another potential source of demand come from EC upgraders, okay? There's no EC, there is TOP between 2008 and 2013. Now, this is extract from HDB website. HDB will list down all the sites, EC sites since day one, okay, since 1990, 99, okay, 1997, okay. 99 is the first TOP date, okay, for the first project that was launched in 1997 and TOP in end 1999, all the whole list is there up to the present list. Okay, you just can Google, no, executive condo TOP. Okay, they will lead you to this site. Okay, and when you actually go through, you realize that there is no TOP between 2008 to 2013, 2008 to 2013. These 5 years of no supply, meaning that the MOP, right, between 2013, that means 2008 plus 5 years. Okay, and 2013 plus 5 years. You realize that between 2013 to 2008, there's no EC that meet 5-year MOP. And after 2019, 2020, 2011, we will have more flats that meet 5 years, more EC that meet their 5 years MOP. Now, most of these people, okay, who bought earlier, okay, at 2015, they actually, when the MOP is hit, when MOP is reached, okay, when MOP is reached, okay, most of the EC owners make a good profit. Okay, this make this group of people who bought the flat, the EC then during their mid-30s to the late 30s, a handsome profit. And when they are now around 40 to 45 years old, okay, where the income have already increases and their EC have give them good profit, this is another potential source of upgraders. Okay, so this year also quite a number of projects, okay, and most of these EC projects owners who bought 5 years ago, most of them are sitting on good profits. Okay, now there's a saying by Sun Tzu: move not until you see an advantage. Use not your troop unless there's something to be gained. Fight not unless the position is critical. So very simple, okay? Until you see that there's a market opportunity, okay? Do not use your money, okay? Any old how, throw in your money into the market until you see that this is a good time to enter the market, okay? When the supply is getting lesser, demand is going up, there's still liquidity in the market, despite, okay, certain sector of the market is facing strong headwinds, okay, then this is where that you should consider to use your last 7 years savings, okay, to see whether you want to actually gain a foothold before the supply run low. Before you enter the market, please go through the strategy that I have shared with you, investment strategies. First, analyze whether currently is the market correct to go in? Is it overpriced now? Is it artificially suppressed? And with a lot of cash on the sideline, that's why people have the ability to buy despite looming recession. Okay, then you also should look at the supply. Is it coming down or increasing? Look at the demand. Is it increasing or decreasing? Okay, then make sure you work out your finances. Okay, your property, if you're holding a multiple property, what is your best option? Should you sell the old one and stand by to change to a new one, or should you actually decouple? Now, what is your best option? So work out your finances, work out your risk management before you enter the market. So if you understand supply, demand, present market condition, also work out your finances, do your research. Is there any upcoming development that can boost up the price of your the so-called the returns of your investment? Okay, so it is better to prepare for an opportunity than have one opportunity in front of you but you are not prepared. So never waste a good price. How to position yourself for success? What do I mean by this? Okay, have you heard about ABSD? If you have two houses now, should you consider selling away your HDB, decouple your private property before enter? So how can you position yourself so that you do not need to pay ABSD? What are the ways to structure yourself so that you can get the funds? So should you keep your existing property or should you sell? Okay, so these are some of the things that I strongly urge you to actually work out with our ERA, okay, salesperson, okay, work with them, okay. They are more than happy to sit down with you to work out your best position to enter the market. How should you rearrange, restructure your portfolio? How should you actually get the finance resources, okay, to actually to seize the opportunity without, okay, overloading yourself?